Hi there, my name is Caitlin. My major is corporate communications. I'm kind of from all over. I was born in Biloxi, Mississippi. I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, and then right before high school, I moved to Houston. Something that you wouldn't know about me just from looking at me is that I am a little bit of a math nerd. I love numbers, and I'm also a sports enthusiast. I'm in school for sports broadcasting, and I know a lot about baseball and football and most sports. Not so much golf or hockey, but I'm learning. My favorite childhood toy was my trampoline. I was a competitive cheerleader for 16 years or something, and I can do a lot of the flips and tumbling, and jumping on the trampoline was always my favorite because I could do some crazy things. The reason I'm taking this class is because my degree is corporate communications, and I'm hoping to learn a lot more about communication in work environments, and I'm most excited about this class because of the video diaries. I think that it's really unique to do this, and you can actually see a person and know a lot more about them when you can actually interact with them rather than just seeing emails from them once a week with their homework and things like that. I am most anxious about it being online because I'm terrible at online classes. I always tend to forget to do my homework, but I'm going to do my best, I promise. I plan to contribute to this class. I think that it's good to have a lot of different perspectives on different topics and things, and I am looking forward to contributing my own perspective to what we learn about, but I'm also looking forward to sharing my rad sense of humor with everybody. My organizational experiences are I've worked for a company called Austin Options. It was a real estate company. I worked for Hollister when I was in high school. I am currently with an agency called Umbrella Girls USA, which is a modeling agency, and I also worked for the Houston Texans. My roles in each of those organizations, I'm a model with the modeling agency with Umbrella Girls. I was just a floor worker for Hollister, folded clothes all day, talked to customers and things like that. With the real estate agency, I was a personal assistant. He was a real estate attorney, and then I also worked on like contracts and things on the other side of real estate. And then with the Houston Texans, I was a cheerleader, which I didn't have a huge role in the actual organization, but it was cool to see how things worked with that. The 5 characteristics that I have chosen for a positive organization, or things that I look for in a company I would want to work for, are good communication, good training and development, because I think that it's important to truly understand what you're doing and how to do it. I'm looking for a progressive, modern environment because I know that businesses used to be a lot more formal, and I think that I'm a pretty outgoing person, and I'd want a place that I can be myself and express myself and be a happy, normal person. I look for competitive pay, which is a given, and opportunities for advancement, because I don't think that I would want to stay in the same place the entire time I worked somewhere. I wouldn't want to get complacent and just kind of stay at the same level. Having opportunities to move forward is a good incentive to work hard. And then the 5 companies I chose. The first one that I decided I would want to work for, the first one is Google, which I'm sure most people are going to pick. In the article that I read, it said that there's a quote that said the company makes employees feel valued, not like a cog in a machine. And I think that's very important to treat people like they matter, and what they are there for is important, not like they're just a means to an end, that they're actually an end. It says there's amazing perks, like there's 3 prepared meals, health insurance even for part-time, and there's on-site medical and a lot of things like that. But it says that it's also a really progressive environment. There's fitness classes on the campus or at the office. They have like a hair salon in there. There's nap pods and laundry things and places to fold your clothes, and I think that it seems like a very positive environment, and all of the reviews have been great, and it got like a 99% on great communication within the company. The second one I chose is the Container Store, partially because I love the Container Store, and also because I read that they have higher than average pay, which is obviously something that most people are going to look for. It says there's a very fun-loving culture, which is great. I would love for the place that I end up working at to feel like more of a family than just a business. And there's also a great communication rating on that one, and I think it's very important to be able to communicate within your company. The next one I chose is Riot Games, which they're people I don't even know any video games because I don't play, but I chose this because after reading about it, it says that their training is something called intensive immersion, which is basically when you first get there to work, they make you play all of their games so you can learn about them, and you just spend all this time playing video games, and then they give you a chance to decide if you think it's the right place for you or not, and if you don't think it's right or they don't think you're a right fit, they compensate and they pay you while you work for, like, you try and figure out a different job or things or something else to do. Then they have an open paid time off policy, which basically means the employees get to decide their hours, and I like that it goes along with the progressive modern environment that I'm looking for, to be able to pick your own schedule and to have as much time off as you need, and you decide when you want to work. Because I know I get a little bit I can't think of the word. Defiant, I suppose. But if someone's telling me I have to do something, it makes me less motivated to do it. And if I get to decide when is the best time to work for me to work, I know I'm going to be more excited to do it. And also, their average pay for salary employees is $128,000 a year, which I think is great. I think that's a great average. And they also had a great rating for communication in there on their review. The next company that I decided to go with was W.L. Gore and Associates. There was a lot of great reviews about it, just about good communication, and it's a fun, modern environment. There's a lot of company parties, and it sounded like a happy place to be and an enjoyable place for employees to be. And they also have an intensive training period. They do 61 hours a year of training, roughly, for both salary and hourly employees. And that I think it's very important for them for the company to have a strong training program, because it'll help you really know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then the final company I chose is Quick Trip, which I think I chose because I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, and there's a Quick Trip all over there, and it was my favorite place to go. And I know everybody here loves Buc-ee's, but Quick Trip trumps Buc-ee's 10 times over. I love going there because it's always very clean. The employees are always very nice, and it's I know it's just a convenience store, but it means a lot to me. But I was reading about it, and it says most gas stations have like an 80% turnover rate with their employees, just because it is gas stations and people don't want to spend their entire life working there. But because of the incentives that Quick Trip gives, their turnover rate is actually only 29%, and there's a lot of opportunities to move up in the company, which is very important to me. It's one of my 5 characteristics. And everything I've read said that it's a very positive environment, and it seems that way every time I go there. And my dad used to work there and said that he loved working there, and it's great management. And all of the reviews also say that it's a positive, like it's a great working environment, and that there's great communication within the company. All right, well,